Benjamin, Milada, and Stephen's presents were the ones everyone waited for. And they delivered. Exquisite jewelry. A luxury sports car. The kind of gifts that made people gasp. Then it was Mateo's turn. No wrapped box. Just a single certificate. Whispers rippled through the crowd as he flipped it open. Under the lights, a breathtaking image of a rose-colored nebula gleamed. Helen, you already have everything. I wanted to give you something different. From today on, this star cluster is yours to name. Gasps rippled through the crowd, followed by a wave of murmurs. You can buy the rights to name a nebula? Mateo must have gone through a lot for this. I mean, let's be real. He's obsessed with Yara. Guess that love extends to her little sister too. Admiration. Envy. It never ended. But Yara knew the truth. This wasn't some grand gesture of love by association. Mateo had put so much thought into this gift because Helen was the only one he truly loved. The room suddenly felt suffocating. She needed air. Slipping away from the celebration, she stepped onto the deck. The ocean breeze caught her hair, and for the first time in a long while, she could finally breathe. That's when Helen appeared. She stood behind Yara, eyes glinting with condescension, her voice oozing smugness. Yara, what are you gonna do? Not just Stephen, looks like Mateo's in love with me too. Yara didn't answer. She didn't get it. Helen had already taken everything. Their parents' love. Her friends. The man she once adored. Even her fiancé. So why? Why couldn't she just leave her alone? The question slipped out before she could stop it. Helen didn't even pretend to deny it. She just smirked. No reason, really. I just like watching you suffer. And lucky me, I get to see it happen again real soon. Yara frowned, ready to demand what she meant. But before she could react, Helen grabbed her wrist and yanked. A second later, they both plunged into the sea. The icy water swallowed Yara whole. Cold. So cold. She tried to scream, but salt water rushed in, searing her lungs like fire. Her limbs flailed, desperate to grab onto anything. Above the waves, voices shouted. People had finally noticed. Then, splash. And another. And another. 3 people had jumped in. Benjamin. Stephen. Mateo. But not a single one swam toward her. Every single one of them, every single one, raced toward Helen. Even over the crashing waves, she could hear Milada's panicked screams from the yacht. Save Helen. You have to save Helen. Something inside Yara shattered. She closed her eyes, letting the weight of the ocean pull her under. Maybe this was how it was supposed to end. But just as she was ready to let go, the sound of someone swimming closer cut through the haze. Closer. And closer. Her eyes fluttered open. She barely made out the face in front of her, but when she did, she froze. Stephen. Before Yara could process why Stephen, of all people, was the one saving her, the darkness swallowed her whole. When she woke up, she was in a hospital bed. Her dry eyes blinked against the harsh white ceiling. Slowly, she turned her head. And saw Stephen sitting beside her. She stared at him, half convinced he wasn't real. Out of everyone, why was he the only one here? Pushing down her surprise, she spoke calmly. Shouldn't you be with Helen? I just came from there. She's surrounded by people. Mateo's there too. Stephen waited for some kind of reaction. Anger, frustration, something. But Yara barely blinked. Her response was simple. Then you should go too. I like my peace and quiet. She expected him to leave. He didn't. Instead, he just looked at her, something unreadable in his expression. Finally, after a long pause, he spoke. Don't marry Mateo. His voice was low, firm. And once he started, he couldn't stop. He doesn't love you. He never did. He only got close to you so Helen could have a clear path. Stephen felt lighter, like he'd finally exhaled a secret that had been suffocating him. But when he looked at Yara, expecting shock or hurt, he saw nothing. No surprise. No sadness. Just quiet indifference. almost like she had already known. His breath caught. Why, you knew? You can leave now, she said, ignoring the question completely. But Stephen didn't move. Frustration flared, spilling over. You knew and you're still going through with the wedding? Are you insane? Yara laughed. Why do you care? Didn't I already break off our engagement and hand you back to your precious Helen? That shut him up. Because the truth was, he didn't know why he cared. He should be happy. He had Helen. But lately, when he looked at Helen, all he could think about was Yara. Even his dreams were filled with her. The air grew thick with silence. Until the door suddenly swung open. Mateo. His expression darkened the moment he saw Stephen. What are you doing here? Stephen held Yara's gaze a beat longer before turning and walking out. The second he was gone, Mateo pulled Yara into a tight hug, his voice desperate. Yara, I'm sorry. I swear I wasn't trying to leave you behind. I got confused, I thought. He swallowed hard. I thought I was saving you. Please don't be mad at me. I won't care about Helen anymore, okay? Just don't go near Stephen. Please. I need you to stay with me. You finally stopped loving him. You finally chose me. If you go back to him now, I'll lose my mind. Mateo kept rambling, trying to fix things. But Yara had already tuned him out. Only one thought remained. Let this all end. In the days before the wedding, Mateo went all in on proving his loyalty. No more visits to Helen. Didn't even ask about her. Instead, he stuck to Yara like glue, gifts, attention, whatever it took to make her smile. And it worked. Until the night before the wedding. For some reason, Yara started packing. Mateo noticed, didn't think much of it. Heck, he even helped. Until he saw what she was packing. Every expensive gift he'd ever given her. Every photo he'd taken of her. Every love letter he'd written. All of it. Mateo found a memo. Flipping it open, he realized it was all about Yara. 1. Yara has a sensitive stomach, no spicy food. Learn 365 recipes to keep her warm and comfortable. 2. Yara is scared of thunderstorms but never carries an umbrella. Be there before the rain starts. 3. Yara loves cherries. Plant an entire backyard of cherry trees for her. 4. Yara is lonely. No matter what, always be there when she looks back. Page after page, he read each note out loud. When he reached the last one, he let out a quiet chuckle. Yara, winning your heart was so hard. Good thing I never gave up. The way he looked at her, serious, certain, caught her off guard. He really had done all this for her. If she hadn't heard him say those words herself, she might have believed it. Might have thought the Mateo standing in front of her wasn't the same man who had spent years loving someone else behind her back. But he didn't notice the shift in her expression. Instead, he pulled her into his arms. Yara, I finally get to marry you. His voice was low, warm. Tell me. After today, you'll be mine, right? She shook her head. No. The moment you lied to me, our story ended. The butler stepped in just then. Sir, the bride and groom aren't supposed to see each other before the wedding. You should head to the hotel now. Mateo didn't move. Just tightened his hold on her. I want to stay with Yara. The butler hesitated. Sir. Before he could say more, Mateo's phone rang. He checked the caller ID, and froze. A second later, he finally let her go, stepping aside to answer. Yara couldn't hear what was said, but when he came back, something had shifted. His grip was softer now, hesitant. See you tomorrow, Yara. She knew he wasn't leaving because of the butler's reminder. It was because of that call. Helen had called him. But Yara didn't say a word. Just watched as he walked out the door. Then, she dragged her packed suitcases into the front yard. She'd already told the staff to set up a fire pit. They didn't ask why, just did as she said. Now, one by one, she tossed everything inside, photos, notes, journals. When the last picture curled up in the flames, she smiled. Mateo Lopez, all the memories are gone. And so is our future. Under the vast night sky, no one noticed Yara walking out the gates, suitcase in hand. She never looked